World Finals time, sitting in the lanes, T1. We had a little bit of an oil down, and here I am stuck in my helmet. But you know what? We can still talk a little bit about it. So man, the weather today is fast, super fast. We're talking negative footage. And with better weather, faster cars. The lower that air footage, the faster we're going. We're gonna have all the power we could ever need. We're gonna be breaking some personal records of mine. My fastest pass ever is a 375. I'll tell you right now in testing, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw 71 or 72 by the end of it. But I'll tell you, this weekend is wild. This is like every racer's dream right here. Neck and neck with a top dragster legend for a world championship. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. There's nothing else that you can get the feeling you get than an event like this, where it's down to the wire, where you're staring a drag racing top dragster legend in the eye and going mano to mano with him. It's straight up, this town ain't big enough for the two of us. And I'm coming guns blazing. So this is gonna be a good race, a good weekend. Remember, we're bracket racing. So that means we gotta run the dial. We gotta hit the number. We gotta be consistent. We gotta be tight on the tree. All of those things I believe we can do, and I believe we can do it to the best of our ability, and we can come out as the 2024 Elite Top Dragster World Champion. That's the goal. So we're rolling into testing. You're about to see some footage, and we'll be describing each run just kind of like we did in our old videos this time. So you're gonna get all the details, all the facts, all the action. Well, testing was interesting. You know, we made the first hit, made a 330 hit, came back, pulled the plugs, everything looks good. Decide we can take it out the back, run that 373 with a 6, and there was that big puff of smoke. That wasn't a good puff of smoke. We ended up burning up number 7 here. Our engine's hurt. We're making about 60 PSI compression in that cylinder. Normally it's around, what, 110. We can't even download the data for whatever reason. I mean, it's just, it's been a day. We've been struggling today for whatever reason. It's just, you know, it was smooth sailing over at Galot. No issues, real smooth, no problems. And then today has just been problem on top of problem on top of problem.
So after 330, everything looked good. So we decided to go run it out the back. We made no tune-up change other than giving it some power early. That was about it. Everything out the back was the same. And for some reason, you know, I don't know, it just probably was lean, a little bit lean, and it burnt number 7. Piston probably lifted the ring land a little bit, got a little aluminum around there. And could you still race it? Yeah, we probably could. We've raced with stuff hurt like that before, but you know, it's hard to take that chance. So we got some decisions to make on what you want to do, driving a different car possibly, whatever. But there's no repairing it. We don't have the parts to repair it, so it is what it is.
That's right. So
just, one of them funny things that happens, you know, the computer deal. I don't know, just got a glitch for some reason. It's not downloading the data. So we're trying to work that out and figure out what went wrong. As soon as we do, maybe we'll know a little bit more.
Yeah. So that's the goal right now. try and figure out how to get this data downloaded so that we can see this run, see how bad it is. We've already done compression checks. We've already looked. I mean, number 7's hurt. We're very fortunate. We got Brian Anderson right next to us, and he's agreed to let us wheel his car, which I don't know if you remember the last time we were in Virginia, I interviewed Brian and talked about how that car went that 373 on that 112 blower. And that sucker was fast. So that's a really good car. Also a race tech. I mean, I've always said that's a world championship class car over there, so maybe I'll get my chance to prove it. All right, guys, it's been a dramatic evening and then into the morning. So we couldn't get the data on the computer. We struggled and struggled and struggled trying to figure out, are we gonna run my car or not? We've got a burnt up piston. It's been a wild ride. I have to do that at the World Finals. The drama's going down. But I'll tell you right now, we did end up getting the data after some help from Patrick Barnhill. And overall, it kind of looks like we might be safe to run that car, but I'll be honest, we got a world championship on the line, and I'm dueling it out with literally one of the greatest top dragster racers ever. I need to have a good horse in the race. And that car could go one run, it could go two, it might go three, or it might go all 7 that I need. But we really don't know. It's hurt. Luckily, I got a good friend like Brian Anderson, and he's offered me his car. And we built this car as a race tech. You know, we did an interview with him and talked about this car at the last Virginia race that I won. This is a nasty car right here. I know it's nasty. I even joked with him that, man, I'm building you a better car than I got while I was building it. So I know this is a good car. It goes down A to B every time. He's had to abort one run all season, and we ain't messed with the tune-up at all. Obviously, we're going to calm it down a little bit because of these conditions. We're running into Q1. Q1, we're at negative 900 feet of air right now. Negative 900 feet of air. That's nasty. That is like some people out there, they're going to be making some contributions to the aluminum gods this evening. It's going to be nasty out there. So we put some fuel in it. We're going to try and keep this thing safe. Good gracious, I don't want to hurt two. You know, we hurt one, we don't want to hurt two. So we've got a wonderful, wonderful car here. I'm gonna warm it up right now. Try and get used to it, because it is different, but at the same time, it's like whenever I used to run a blow-through carburetor deal. I've ran that for a year. So, you know, hopefully it'll come back to me really quick. That's a world champion car right there. That is. Good? Yeah, man. I think we're good. In the lanes for Q2, obviously Q1 didn't look that pretty in Brian's car, but you know what? Had a lot of power. The air was good. Now there's calmed back down. We knocked some power out of her. She's about to ride. In the show, 376 killer lap. We've definitely we're number 4 on the sheet, so we're solid. We're set solid in this field. It's a slower field for sure. What'd you do to the car to get it down? You know, we went out, did a top fuel burnout, and then did it right down Broadway.
Well, just compared it, the weather that we had in those conditions, probably the best air we've seen, and I don't know when. It was really good air. So we had to just really get aggressive about calming the timing down in the engine to take some horsepower away. Pulled a lot of power out early, and then about halfway through we still pulled some out, but then we just did a little bit slower ramp of timing coming back in. Just let it eat. It still was fast. That shows you how much power it's making. I mean, we probably pulled 300 horsepower out of the motor.
Oh yeah. Dude, check that run out. Look at that thing toting the wheels up towards the 60 foot. She was sweet to drive. The shootout is over. Fur took a dive, and he made an early first round exit, and man, I'm over the moon. So basically this championship's right there at ours, and man, it's awesome. What a day. So an update, if I lose the next round, which will be tomorrow morning, unfortunately, I gotta wait all night to find out, but if I lose the next round, then Kyle Harris has to win the race in order to take it from me. So we just made, the car's good, it's killer. Gonzalez had to abort, and so making it an easy run for me, an easy win. We got Richie Allen next round. Richie's in a race tech, and he's a great racer, so hopefully we can get by that one and just put the final nail in this thing. You know, and then win the race and leave him no doubt, right? Oh, hello. Didn't see you there. Well, we've had an interesting time at the World Finals, man, and we're back at the shop now. So we got some good news, we got some bad news. The good news is, you know, I won my shootout with Steve Furr, and big win for me. You know, that dude's a drag racing icon, and I thought I locked up a championship.
and that's the bad news. I came in second in the world. Kyle Harris could overtake me in the points if I lost second round. And as you saw, Richie Allen and his Race Tech dragster put up trip zip on the tree to take me down and knock me out of the race. And then Kyle Harris went on to win that race. So, man, you want to talk about some drama, some excitement. I mean, what a race, man. I had my car, you know, I hurt cylinder number 7. And then Brian Anderson let me borrow his car, and I was able to race with it. You know, then I win the shootout. My hopes are way up here, and then each round after I lost, it was just a little less, until finally I lost that championship. So we straight up rode that roller coaster of emotions all day on race day. But man, what a season. It's been an incredible season. You know, we started out just kind of like really getting a handle on those Hoosier tires. If you remember our first video, you know, really trying this YouTube thing out, man. And that was a lot of fun. We found a lot of promise in those tires. Through the season, we never changed from those tires. They were perfect. You know, they really worked well. Again, that was the C1550s Hoosier tire. And man, they really showed a lot of promise, a lot of grip early. Really tight. The one thing is they're a lot tighter, so you know, on the burnout you really got to get on them to get them going and carry them on out. But other than that, man, as far as on track performance, those things, they've got some grip and they will get you sent on out there quick. You know, better 60-foot times, better mile an hour out the back, from what I've seen compared to the Mickey Thompsons. I'm a fan. They were good, and Hoosier's been great to me this year. Another thing was, you know, the fuel injection. We got the fuel injection figured out, and we also had to get it figured out again that second race with that bigger Pro Charger, switched to that 121. What a wild race that was, man. We were making 10 more pounds of boost, going out there looking like John Force, doing top fuel burnouts, and we ended up winning that race, you know, just way out in left field. And that's what put me in the chase for the championship right there, you know. And each race, it was just more drama, trading off with Steve Furr in the points, you know, going through, battling the heat, then coming back and figuring out just how we could lock down that world championship. And unfortunately, we fell about 30 points short, which is real tight if you consider it's 100 points a round. So, I mean, all in all, I'm almost tied for a world championship, but, you know, I can't claim that. You know, he got me. So, Kyle Harris, good job to you, man. Congratulations on your world championship, man. You drove like a killer all day Saturday. You really laid it down. And, man, good job. Good work. You know, in the future, here's what you can expect from the channel. I'm going to be doing some videos. I've got some interviews lined up over the off season. I've got a few shop videos that I'll be coming out with, just showing some work around the shop and showcasing sort of, you know, some technical advice, maybe just how we do certain things, building cars, and some little tricks that we put in these Race Tech race cars, you know, that make them for winners only. So, you know, stay subscribed, like the video, share, and we'll see you next time.